Hey, welcome to Martial Arts and Psychology Podcast. My name's Eric. This is Tamara Rasheed, and welcome to Episode 3 of the MAPP podcast. So, just to do a little bit of an introduction, my name's Eric. And I do Taekwondo, and I've dabbled in a lot of other little, a lot of other martial arts like jujitsu and two different kinds of jujitsu and judo, a lot of different stuff. And then my education, I have a bachelor's in psychology, and then I have a lot of master's courses in psychology. And uh, I'll throw it over to my special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Eric, first of all, for inviting me here.
No
What a
problem.
pleasure. What a
Uh,
pleasure. Uh, so my name is Tamara Rasheed. I have like one of
I've been
those
saying it wrong.
combination lock names where, I know you're probably a telemarketer if you call me Tamara or Tamara. So my name is Tamira. I usually
Myra.
put
Oh
it
my
in
gosh.
my Zoom so
I'm
people
so
see.
sorry. I've been
That's
saying it wrong.
okay.
Too bad.
That's what I'm telling you now.
Okay, to Myra. Okay, I
To
got you.
Myra. So my martial art that I've been in for it'll be 4.5 years next month. It's called Wing Chun Do.
Oh yeah,
And
I've heard a lot about that.
have
It's
you
like
heard
Kung
a lot
Fu.
about Wing Chun Do?
I've heard of Wing Chun. Is it the same? Is it the same?
It's not the same.
Okay,
Wing
okay,
Chun is
that's
the
what enlightened me.
traditional Chinese art, and Wing Chun Do is developed by a guy named James DeMille. He's the founder of it. He passed away last year, I believe, around October.
Oh,
Unfortunately, my Joe,
mm,
uh, incredible guy.
sorry.
Cared a lot
Yeah.
about personal development mixed with martial arts and very big on psychology and human behavior. But
Oh,
he was
we would have gotten along.
he yeah, you would have really gotten along with him, and he was one of 9 people who were super close to Bruce Lee, and
Really?
he knew him as Bruce. And this was
That's super
prior
cool.
to movies, prior to any him getting famous or anything. He knew him while he was training. And
Oh my
Cjo
gosh.
was a boxer and a huge guy that liked to street fight. And that's
Oh
how
my
they
gosh.
became friends. So I wandered into this storefront martial arts school with
You
Wing
kind of
Chun
lucked
Do
out.
on the building. And
Wow,
uh,
that's so
just
cool.
wondered what it was. And when I came in, it was like all these old pictures of Bruce Lee and Cjo and people who were Bruce's friends causing shenanigans on the street, in the '60s,
Oh
all
my
over the
gosh.
walls, and that's what enticed me and got me into it. So it's a art for people of all ages, of all backgrounds, and of all limitations. That was something else that drew me to it. That even if let's say you have a busted shoulder or messed up leg or something, you can still
Broken
defend
arm, right?
with a wrist break. I
Wrist
can
break,
still
yeah.
defend myself. So yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So that's the martial art that I've been in for 4.5 years.
that's
Uh,
super cool.
I am the youngest belt to ever have been asked to become a instructor, and I'm the third
Oh,
female in that system to
whoa.
become a
That's awesome.
instructor. Yeah. So yes.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
is there like a rank you have or how does that work?
Yes. So there's basic levels and then advanced levels. So I've completed all my basic levels. I got accepted into my advanced levels about a year and a half ago, and I tested with a broken ankle. So this is,
Wow.
yeah, I was able to test and
VA.
pass with a broken ankle. So yeah, I'm the resident badass in this
Yeah,
school.
exactly.
Unstoppable is my middle name. So
Heck
uh,
yeah. Tamara Unstoppable Rasheed.
that's right. It's actually
Yeah.
peace, believe it
Peace.
or not.
Oh
My
my gosh.
name is peace.
So
Uh,
I remember we met just through like a writer's group, like on
yes.
Facebook. I
Yes.
think you gave like a free seminar or something, and I watched it like a live stream. Yeah,
Yes.
that was cool.
I
So
remember
yeah,
that.
yeah. Can you tell them what you've been working on, or like you're
Absolutely.
back a little bit more about yourself?
Yes, I am an author, and I do want to talk about my background to my education. I have a master's degree in teachers of English to speakers of other languages. So it's
Whoa,
my specialty to research and teach people how to speak English. That's what
awesome.
I do. Yeah. So, and from children all the way to adults, I make
That's
sure that
awesome.
they have the skills to succeed academically. And so, with that, I'm an author, which has nothing to do with my degrees. Uh, it
Turns out
was
anybody can
something,
write a book, really, I
yeah,
guess.
I had this little brochure, and someone said, "Hey, you should turn it into a book." And I did. And that's what started my whole book journey. So now I have 33 books. I'm an 8-time bestseller. I have my own publishing agency, my own publishing house. I've been a literary publicist, which means it was my job to help people market their books. And so I know all the ins and outs about writing and publishing and marketing books. Books have I actually self
Fantastic.
studied and educated myself using books as well, because I wasn't
Yeah.
allowed to go to school as a young person. I missed my whole K through 12 education,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
and I self-studied
Unbelievable.
to get into college at 13. So
13.
yes, a
So you're
college
just a
student at
savant or
13
something.
years
I don't
old.
know.
So yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
that's my
I didn't know
background.
that.
Yeah,
I, I
yeah,
I heard that you published like a ton of like books.
yes,
I didn't know you had 8 bestsellers and oh my gosh,
yes. So
unbelievable.
I write everything. I write all kinds of books, but I've written personal development, personal finance is how I got my start in writing books. And then I branched out into personal development. Then I started writing children's books. I have a 7-book children's series called Mining Minions, based on
What is
my
it called? I'm sorry.
Mining Minions.
Mining minions.
And it's based on
Awesome.
Minecraft. It used to be called Minecraft Minions when
Oh,
Minecraft was really small.
kids must have
And then
loved that.
they
Yeah.
became huge, and so they came after copyrights and stuff, so I changed the name. But everybody at that time was
Oh,
using Minecraft.
yeah.
Yeah, so that and coloring books and cookbooks, and I've helped people publish all kinds of things.
Oh my gosh, we're definitely getting into business.
Yes.
Uh, okay, thank you so much for introducing
You're
yourself.
welcome.
So I just have, let's just cover the questions that I got in this outline here.
Yes.
So we kind of talked about the first one, like what have you worked on? Like who are you? And
Yes.
so after that, we'll do my first question, well, number two, which is how has martial arts helped you in your everyday life?
Well, I think that's a pretty interesting story for me, because my particular martial art focuses on natural body mechanics, finding your natural power and your natural speed, and getting to know those things about yourself. So I think one of the
It's
most
so cool.
common, I think it's so thrilling, just to watch the different levels of people discovering who they are in this art.
That's
But
so cool.
for me, how it helps me day to day, one of the things is my reflexes. My
Hmm.
reflexes have improved tremendously, to the point where it's like
Like,
every
do you mean
time
like
slows
physical?
down.
Do you mean like physical reflexes or just like
Yeah.
mental reflexes? Just like,
Physical, I would say physical and mental reflexes. They're just a lot faster than they ever were. So like uh
they're just
myself and
sharper?
other Wing Chun Do practitioners, we talk about slowdowns, how time slows down for us.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
I've kind of noticed that.
have you noticed that?
Yeah,
Yes.
so I do Taekwondo. It's HMD Taekwondo or Mudo Taekwondo, if you will. And I've noticed like I like can I just like react to stuff like quicker and like I know how
Uh-huh.
to react to stuff. Like it's really kind of a cool phenomenon. And I feel like in control of like the area around me, if you know what I mean.
Yes. I totally relate to that. And like, do you ever have situations where you drop something or something's falling and you catch it and everybody's just kind of looking at you like it didn't
Yeah.
occur? Like just before they could register that something was falling, you're on it.
Like I've done
Yeah,
that.
like
Oh,
I mean
and
that's all the time. I catch things with my
yeah.
feet, but I also play hacky sack as part of what
It's
we
not
do.
like we trained that. It's like you just do it.
I guess, right. It's not like we consciously train that.
No,
It's
like
just
you know
part
what's funny?
of,
Yeah, it's part of the martial art, right?
yeah.
When I get out of the car, I do like a stance. I
Yeah.
like open the door and then like I do like a front stance to like because it like works out really good. It's and then I stand up like I have like snappy movements and stuff. Do you ever find yourself having that kind of thing?
I do
Like
like it.
snappy.
Okay, so like for example, we do a lot of movement from the elbow. So
Hmm.
like a lot of your core power is all here in your trunk and through your elbows. So I'll open doors elbow first. I'm like using that mechanic of opening doors with my elbow, startling, you
It's kind of
know.
fun, right?
It's so much fun. Like and you don't even realize you're doing it usually until it's done. You're like, did I just,
So funny.
open a door this way or push my cart at the grocery store like that? Did I, get out of the way of somebody just in the nick of time kind of thing? Yeah. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome. You have
Mhm.
awesome lighting, by the way. Mine's like I'm still working on it.
I use a ring light.
A
I
ring
have
light.
a couple ring lights. So this one I have is like a clip-on mini ring light.
Hmm. I'll have to get
Mhm.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not used to doing
it's
Zoom, but I gotta get used to it.
yeah,
So,
it really helps.
yeah. And my gosh, it is so cool to like it's cool to like just talk to somebody that kind of understands what I'm talking about with that stuff.
Agreed.
Um, because
It
when
makes me
we
realize
yeah, when
how
I'm yeah.
often, like I don't want to say I don't have a lot of friends in martial arts. I have a lot of author friends, like on
Mm,
my Facebook and stuff where I'm usually at. But
mm.
like the conversations I get to have with other martial artists and comparing notes, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
I honestly I had no idea you did martial arts until like a little while into our thing and communicating, so that was like super cool. Like,
It was. I
like wait,
had totally
I actually
forgot.
did martial art. What?
I think you had mentioned to me before that you did martial arts, but then we've talked so much about books and stuff like that
Yeah,
that I think it just kind of
yeah, it's just
to
kind of like
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked out earlier at the gym. I had my first personal training session, and then afterwards I was pretty tired, but I could keep going, so I just did you went on the punching bag and did that kind of stuff today.
Yeah.
Um, I try to do something every day physical
Yes.
to get in shape again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's working out pretty good. Like has what like psychologically do you how do you think psychologically has benefited you to do martial arts?
Wow. Well, the biggest thing for me was the decision itself to do martial arts was something I did for myself.
Okay,
So
can you
like,
talk more about that?
oh, absolutely. Like as a mom, for example, I have five sons. So
Yeah,
as a
wow. Oh
mom,
my God.
I'm like giving everything I got to my kids and my home and all that. So when I chose to do martial arts, it was the first thing that I really decided to do for myself.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It was
In a
like
long
the
time probably, right?
decision. Yes. Yeah.
Did
Like
you
I
get
had
them
always
involved as
wanted to
well?
be a black belt in a martial art. I'm not yet. I'm on that journey. But like the first step is starting, right?
Yeah. Did you get them involved in the martial art too, or just yourself?
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
I
you did?
did. And it's kind
That's
of
awesome.
bittersweet because COVID hit.
Oh,
And since COVID hit, children's programs I feel like suffered a lot because people didn't want to have kids in their building because of
I know.
germs and all this kind of stuff and not being able to deal with that. So the children's program went away in anticipation of COVID dying out and whatever, the pandemic being over. So children's classes still have not started back yet.
Uh, that's such a
Yeah, and
tragedy.
that's frustrating. So my kids been
So,
learning.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's
I
really
hope they come
frustrating
back
and hard to
soon.
hear.
It was really
See, my school f found a way around that with tr doing online classes
mm-hmm,
over
mm-hmm.
Zoom, and it works out pretty good. Um, but the problem is that uh, you're not in the same room. You can't like it's a lot different. It's
They had
harder to
that
learn stuff.
option. They had that option for our school, but it was like my kids trying to be engaged on video, it just was not the same. So
Yeah.
we tried it, but it didn't stick, you know.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and you're
Yeah.
over from New York, right? Or where are you?
Detroit. Nice.
Oh, you're in
In
Detroit. Oh, I know
Michigan.
you're Eastern time. My
Yep.
bad.
Yeah.
You're right over the border. Well, I'm like right on the border of Central and Eastern because I'm near Chicago. So
Oh yeah.
I always forget that Eastern time is like right there.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's so funny that you're so close to a different time zone.
You never
Yeah.
notice it. You don't notice it.
You're right,
Uh,
you know.
I guess. Oh, screen pop-up things trying to come up. Anyway,
Yeah, so
let's see. So let's get to my the second question. Then we can just BS the rest of the time. Probably have a great
sure, sure.
conversation. Um, we kind of just already answered it, so I guess we can just keep BSing. But my other question was how important is martial arts to your mental health, and we kind of talked about that already. But do you think
Super important, you
so?
know.
Maybe you can speak to this a little. I know I've personally felt more confident in myself. I feel more in control of everything around me as a result of martial art. Do you feel that way? And or how has it helped you with your confidence and self-esteem and stuff like that?
I definitely feel a lot more confident. I
Great.
think where I was before martial arts was I was always afraid and I felt really unsafe most of the
Same.
time. Like just
Mm,
being in my house, being with my kids, going to the gas pump and, just not knowing that fear that comes with not knowing what's safe,
mm,
that kind of like ruled my life at the time. And that's why it was something I wanted to do to make myself happy, to be a part of martial arts so that I could preload my life with safety, you
mm,
know. And so, like, what I found was that it creates not just a physical safety, but an emotional and a mental safety. Like,
I feel that.
and verbal safety too. Like, it gives me the ability to kind of be self expressed in a way that I wasn't before.
Mm,
Like you get to know yourself on a level where you can be fully self expressed and make it clear that you don't want somebody in your personal space. You know what I'm saying? And you're okay with that. You're
yeah.
not worried about them thinking something, which is you usually would worry like that if you don't have the skill, you know?
Right.
Like there was a situation I'm remembering that I was walking with my youngest in a stroller. He's 8 now, but this was maybe he was probably some months old at the time.
Mm.
And with my
So infants.
toddler, my son who was a toddler at the time, I'm walking and I could hear someone behind me walking maybe 50 feet away or so, but I could hear their footsteps.
Ooh, that's
So
scary.
yeah, and it made me really concerned to know that someone could be walking that close behind me and not really know how to handle that. Whereas
Mm.
now I can stop, turn around, let the person pass, or say, yeah, go right ahead, and or
Without even
even
thinking about it,
telling
really.
people good morning when a person looks at you speaking to them and acknowledging that they see you and you see them, that's a huge thing.
Oh yeah.
Being able to draw attention to other people being around. Hey, how are you? Good morning. Nice to see you. They know for certain you see them, you know? So it's like it was kind of a gateway. Martial arts has been a gateway to not only keep myself safe physically, but emotionally and mentally too.
That's so cool that you said that because like thank you for saying it like that too. Because like as a guy, I typically even before I did martial arts, I didn't typically think about safety too often. Might have just been where I live. I know in Detroit it's probably different than the suburbs of Chicago. So I grew up in a really safe area, hardly any crime at all. It's
Ah,
almost like a paradise, really, like a Garden of Eden almost, if
wow.
you will. And then I like last year I lived in Joliet, Illinois. And it's completely different down there. It's different vibe, completely different vibe. Felt like a inner city almost. Like
Wow.
I lived in like a gated community almost because I kind of had to because like a few blocks away there was a murder while I was there, like literally
Wow.
down the street. So I was like kind of afraid to go outside like initially.
Mm.
After like a couple of weeks of being there, I felt more safe, but only then after living there,
Mm.
right when I got there, I'm like, wow, I need to like do something again, like to. Yeah, also, I didn't like it there much. No offense to down there, just because it was rough.
Well,
It was,
sure, yeah. I mean, you can choose to live wherever you want, you
yeah,
know? Like you don't have to live in an area where you feel so physically unsafe that you can't enjoy your life. You know, I don't know why people
yeah.
think that's necessary.
I think just because to them it's just home. It's just all they know, so that
I know.
they've never had to, and they take it with them wherever they go.
Mm,
So they still treat people like in a certain way. I noticed I became a lot less trusting of just general people.
yeah.
It's taken me a lot more time to because I just moved back to the Chicago area or the north suburbs. Oh my gosh, my meeting
Oh,
is
2 minutes.
wanting to end in 10 minutes. All right.
That's
Uh,
okay. We can start a new session if you want to, because we still got like half an hour to go.
yeah, it's like 10 minutes. Oh my God.
I know.
I can edit it together. It's I guess somehow I'll figure it out. So what I'm trying to say is martial arts has really made me feel it's raised my awareness and it's
Yes.
also helped me feel like in control of my surroundings. Also, people kind
Absolutely.
of fear me in a way, in a way,
Really? Yeah.
not like because they say like I'm aggressive or I'm not aggressive. I just do martial arts, so and I have
That's
like a
right.
swagger.
There's
I
a lot of
think
stigma behind being a martial artist. You know,
it
people
kind of
think
is.
you're violent or you like violence, just because you
Yeah, I know.
know a martial art.
It's
I'm
funny
so passive.
because
I'm a
it,
pacifist.
I know like most martial arts are well, I can't speak for everybody, but some like to fight and stuff and need
Yeah,
a
some do.
outlet. Maybe I fell in that camp kind of, but a lot of people just want to be able to defend themselves or they're pacifists. They don't like violence. They don't like violence.
That's right. Yeah, like I know for myself, I like knowing that I can protect myself if I need to, but I think knowing a martial art makes you less violent because you know you can hurt someone.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my desire to hurt any person.
no.
But if my life was in danger, that's a different thing. It's kind of funny. Sunday, I shot a gun for the first time. I've never done that before in my life up until
Oh.
Sunday. And
He's like, I don't need
mind you,
to.
I had my dominant hand in a cast. So I'm not shooting with my dominant hand. I'm shooting with my weak hands, my supporting
You're
hand,
offhand. Yeah.
and one handed. One handed because I can't even support my hand with my dominant hand.
Oh my gosh.
And I feel like martial arts actually made me really good at that. A lot better at it than I ever anticipated being. The person that was
So cool.
helping me at the range got a Sharpie marker and like wrote all over it, weak hand, first time, one-handed, and was like parading my stuff around because I did really well. Like you typically the typical person is not working out their less dominant hand.
Right. No, they're just
It's
doing
not
one
getting
hand.
strength training or anything like that. But in a martial art, you learn how to balance your
Hmm.
strength.
Yeah, we train, we try to train as much on our weak side as the
Yeah.
strong side. So we do both as
Yes.
equally as we can. I mean, of course, we're right-handed or left-handed, but we do.
Exactly. So you have like whatever your dominant hand is, you're probably gonna more use the dominant hand more, but you're still gonna be trained to use both because you never
Mhm.
know. Any situation could come up. I
Maybe
could be
your right
holding my
hand.
kid with my right hand, you know, and I
Hmm.
have my left hand free. If I don't know anything on this side, I'm gonna be screwed.
Exactly.
So
And
yeah,
like, what if like you're in a life or death situation and your right arm gets blown off or whatever? You're just
sure,
gonna
yeah,
roll over now, like so. Exactly. So that's the kind of the mentality you get.
that's right. Like it's really more about the balance of having the option, as many options as you can to take care of yourself, to defend yourself, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
like in gun training, for example, that's your last resort. So if it's your last resort, what's your first?
Yeah.
You
I
know?
know. Like I had a boss one time. I was kind of bragging that I was doing started up jujitsu or whatever because it's fun. And he's like, you know what I do to jujitsu guys? He's like, you know what I do to jujitsu guys? I'm like, what? He's like, shoot them. I'm like,
Well,
well, what if you're like asleep and like your guns and the thing, like like there's all these
yeah,
situations where you like don't have your weapon, and it's like, are you just gonna like, roll over, right? So I think it's like super a great idea to just at least learn basic um self-defense stuff.
yeah. I think people don't consider either that you don't just walk around with your gun out ready.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's holstered or
yeah,
put away. You got to get to it first. So if my reflexes are faster than yours, which they probably are, if all you're relying on is a gun,
yeah.
then it's a situation where I could stop your hand from hitting that holster
Then they're
before.
shooting blood or something, like
Yeah, and
yeah.
that I think that's kind of the point of it, right? To be able to perceive or pay attention to the possibility that you could be harmed, to
Mhm.
pick up signals about that in your environment and in people around you, to be able to sense when a person switches from being aggressive in their head and verbally saying a bunch of stuff they would never follow up on versus that switch when they would decide to put their hands on you or to do something that could harm you. Like that's what martial arts is about too.
Yeah,
Like
like walking into a
perceiving.
room, you can kind of assess like what the dangers
Uh-huh,
are,
yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah,
I gotta avoid that, or be careful about this, or
that's
this is
right.
fine over here. Yeah, I know
And
exactly what
listening
you
to
mean.
people, right? Like being able to listen to people and look at their behavior. Like I know we train where if a person is standing like this, what hand are they likely to strike with first?
Yeah, like the
You
right
know,
hand, right?
the one
Oh yeah.
that's in the front, right? The one in the front is
It's
probably
funny
going to be
because
the one that's, you
yeah, it's
know,
funny because that's not how it is in my martial arts. We go from the back, so which is
exactly.
kind of which is off. So you have to also if you like go around street fighting people, like which is always a bad idea. Like we don't condone that
No,
whatsoever. Um, you don't know what anybody knows. Like
right. You don't.
if somebody fought me, they think I'm a little punk or whatever. I can absolutely wreck somebody.
That's
They
right.
have
Like
no
you,
idea. So it's like it's a really bad idea to just go around street fighting people.
that's right.
Yeah, they could be the next Bruce Lee. You have no idea.
You have no clue. You don't know what someone else knows, you know?
Yeah,
And so it's really, that's why it should be more about protecting yourself than trying
always.
to guess what somebody else is going to do to you. I think when you
Yeah,
don't know anything, you're more likely to do that.
yeah.
I could take you, you know,
Let's
like based
go.
on what?
That'd be fun to spar. It'd be really fun. Let's go. And we're back. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties here. So we're just going to wrap up here. We're going to wrap up with a quote that I found by Frank Lloyd Wright. The quote is, I know the price of success, dedication, hard work, and an unremitting devotion to the things you want to see happen. Hmm. So the price of success, dedication, hard work, unremitting devotion, the things you want to see happen. Sound about right?
Absolutely. You know, what I'm finding like when it comes to business, right? When it comes to building a successful business, which whatever you call success,
Hmm.
it's like you as a person are kind of evolving in the way that you serve people and in the way that you see your own options. That's where your evolution takes place, right? So it's like
Oh,
allowing yourself to have the kind of life that you want, to declare that that's what you want, and then go after, take actions consistent with that. So, yeah, it is like a dedication to what you say you want out of life. How dedicated are you to what you say that you want? Like, if you, if a
that's
person
beautiful.
says, oh man, I want $1 million, how dedicated are you to producing $1 million? Like,
Yeah.
are you willing to have $1 million habits,
My
million
God.
dollar activities, $1 million care of yourself?
You have to just like demand the best of yourself and the people you associate with. I completely agree with that. That you said it beautifully. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
I have nothing to add. That's just exactly what I was thinking. Okay, I guess we'll wrap up the episode 3 of the MAPP podcast, the martial arts and psychology podcast. So I'd like to thank my special guest, Tamara Rasheed. So sorry. Go ahead and introduce what you'd like to introduce.
Sure.
Plug
Oh,
whatever you'd like.
so I'm kind of a renaissance person with books. So no matter where you're at in that journey, if maybe you've never thought about writing a book before, but you have a story or things that you've gone through in life that you feel like would help someone else, that's a great place to start that writing journey from, to consider being an author from. If you've already started writing a book, you know, are you writing from a place of information you're trying to give people, or transformation you want to see in someone else's life, or they want to see in their lives? So like
Well,
being able to structure your writing around that bigger vision, like we just talked about.
yeah,
Success, what is success to you?
it's different for everybody, but I
It's
know
different for everyone. Yeah. Like,
it's
and
yeah.
so I
Tell me,
help people kind of create that vision of the life they want around books, and around books as a business. And right
we're
now, I'm
business.
doing a 21-day challenge, and it starts Monday.
21
And
day challenge. I'm gonna be taking part.
yeah,
We're
Eric's in
going on
it.
that journey.
And
I've
it's going to,
already begun.
it will
That's
be a challenging experience because it's going to allow you to really focus on the kind of life you want to be living, and use books as a platform to get to that space. So
mm,
we're not going to get all that done in 21 days,
no.
but you're going to get a really good foundation, and you're going to be in the mode of creating that book business that you want, you know?
That's super cool.
Yeah. So
Well,
and it's on
thanks so
Facebook.
much. Yeah, yeah. Look up Tamara Rasheed on Facebook. I'll link her Facebook on the description.
Great.
And want to thank the viewers so much for watching, and hope everybody has a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.